I went to the thrift store looking for the trashiest piece of furniture I could find, and this was it. This project is a great reminder to myself to look at pieces not as they are, but at what they can be. Just let me get set up and I'll be right back. Let's start. Here's the fun part. On the second Tuesday of every month over on salvagedinspirations.com, I join 3 of my talented blogger friends, and we do a Trashy Treasures Tuesday. And I didn't have a project for last Tuesday, so I had to go hunting for one. And this is the table I found. When I brought it home, the very first thing I did was take off all this contact paper. The easiest and fastest way I know of to remove contact paper is by using heat. So if you have a heat gun or even a hair blower or a hair dryer, this will work. It also works on any sort of stickers such as price tags, tape, any sort of adhesive, because the heat loosens up the glue and it's easier to pull off. Just be very careful when working with heat, especially a heat gun, because it can heat up the paper, or you can inadvertently maybe hold the heat gun there for a little too long, and then when you're touching the contact paper, it can feel hot. So just be very, very, very careful. Safety first. Now it was time for really good scrub cleaning to see if I could get what was on the actual tabletop off. After seeing the original top and all the deep scratches on the top where the wood was, it was time to use this table in a different way other than how it was originally intended to be used. So I grabbed it and flipped it on its top. I thought this would make a way better looking tray than it does a table. So to do this, I grabbed a Sharpie and marked off where the legs needed to be cut off, making the markings with a Sharpie while the legs are still attached to the table was the lazy girl way because no measuring was required. After I had my Sharpie lines in place, I took a screwdriver and started unscrewing this table. After disassembling the legs, it was time to bring it into my sanding room where my chop saw is. Using the Sharpie line as my guide, I cut down the 4 legs. To reassemble this table into a tray, I used Titebond wood glue. Now, the top of my Titebond is all messed up. That's why I have to actually put it on a paper plate. However, it's much easier if you know the nozzle worked and I could just use the nozzle to apply the glue. And before gluing this back together, I also did have to scrape off some sticky substance that was underneath the wood and the top of this. So just to make sure that it's nice and clean so everything gets glued up properly. I put some glue in the tongue and groove part and along the side of the bottom of the tray and tried lining everything up. It took me a good few tries. Finally, after about 10 minutes of playing around with it, I finally got the hang of it and it glued together very nicely. Once I had it all glued and assembled back together the way I wanted it, it was time to screw back in these screws. This tightened everything up beautifully and I didn't need any clamps. I worked my way around all 4 sides and now it's starting to look like a tray. To remove the assembly stickers, I grabbed my heat gun and started peeling them off. And to get rid of some of those scratches that were on the side and give it a good scuff sanding so paint would adhere, I hand sanded with a 220 sanding sponge. To stop any bleed through and create a bonding surface for paint, I busted out my Bonding Boss, which has been my new favorite lately. Any of you who have been watching my prior videos know that I used BIN or Bin Shellac Base Primer a lot of the time. This is giving it a run for its money. It has no odor. The only caveat I would say for this is it needs a whole full night to dry. So to block any staining, bleed through, you got to make sure that you apply your first coat, wait a couple of hours, apply a second coat, and then wait until the following day before you paint. And it works beautifully. Now for the fun part, designing this tray. I found a gorgeous blue and white floral decoupage paper, and to match it up, I found this Nautical blue paint. I went ahead and painted one coat, thinking that it may take 2 coats of the blue, but the one coat was perfectly fine. It had full coverage, and it looked awesome. This Silk all-in-one mineral paint has the primer and top coat included because I didn't know I was going to be using Silk, which I probably use it at least 60-70% of the time. I should know that I'll probably gravitate to the Silk mineral paint. However, because it was primed prior, I'm guessing that's why one coat did perfectly fine on this piece. I also used my 2-inch mini brush, which cuts into the corners beautifully and applies the paint really smoothly with a brush-free finish because this paint lays very, very nicely. So its working time is, we probably have like a good 3, 4, 5 minutes working time. I try not to go over the brush strokes too much. Once I lay it down, I just leave it do its thing, and I just worked my way around the entire tray. Once the sides were painted in this gorgeous blue, I took out white cap and I painted the bottom of this tray. Again, using my 2-inch brush, I used it to cut into the corners and into the sides. And because this brush really keeps its shape, it's a very good quality brush, it's easy to do so. This brush must be years old, but it still holds its form and cuts into corners really nicely. Once the first coat had totally dried, I could still see a little bit of the brown beading through, the bottom of the tray beading through. So the bottom tray needed a second coat to get full coverage. And when using this mineral paint, if you find that it's not gliding on quite as nicely as you'd like, use a little bit of water from a spray mister. I find this super helpful because the older this paint gets, it kind of thickens up a little bit. So when I spray my brush with the water mister, I find that very helpful in having this paint glide nicely on the paintbrush. There were a few tiny little areas that needed touching up with an artist brush. As I mentioned, I found this gorgeous blue and white floral decoupage paper. So I took it out of its package and started trimming off the edges using a cutting mat and a large straight edge. After all the edges were trimmed off nicely, it was time to lay the paper down on the bottom of this tray and match up the design as I wanted. I did this before applying any adhesive because I knew that a couple of the sheets were going to need to be trimmed to size. And to do this, I just laid them in place, used my hand and ran it right across that crease, and then I knew where it needed to be cut. I laid the straight edge on the crease that I made and I cut it straight across. And this is an easy way, a lazy girl's way, I guess you could say, because it doesn't require any measuring. To adhere this decoupage paper, I used a satin clear coat. So this is a top coat, water-based top coat, and it works beautifully. And if you get a little bit on the sides where I painted blue, I wasn't really concerned about it because it'll just dry nice and clear and nobody will know that I got a little clear coat on there anyways. So I applied a nice smooth layer of this clear satin coat, and then I laid the decoupage paper on top. Now, it wants to stick right away. As you can see, it really wants to, it kind of adheres and it just wants to stick on there. So laying it down can be a bit tricky. You need to take your time and get that corner and the edges just right. Once I had it where I wanted it, I used my hand to smooth everything out. After the paper is smoothed out nicely, I apply another coat of the satin clear coat on top. And this is what adheres this decoupage paper 100%. So you have a layer of clear coat on the bottom and you lay down the paper, smooth it out, and put another clear coat on top. I repeated the exact same process, matching up the design perfectly. So let's take a peek at what this trashy table started out as. Here's the before. And here's the after. And I think it's just beautiful. These blue and white florals just make the whole piece. The Nautical blue ties it in very, very nicely, and I am super pleased with how this tray turned out. I actually wanted to add some handles, hardware handles to each side, but I didn't have anything in my hardware stash that was appropriate. And there was a few people on the SI blog who were saying that they would like to see handles on it as well, but I think I would have to order something. So I'm curious as to what type of handles you think would match this tray really nicely. Please leave a comment down below and be sure to like, subscribe, and you can also find me over at salvagedinspirations.com, where I have over 500 furniture painting tutorials teaching you how to make your furniture beautiful. Until next time, thanks so much for joining me today and have a great week. Bye, guys.